I want to start out by saying God is good all the time. I want to introduce myself. My name is Christie. I'm a mom, daughter, wife, and aunt and nurse, and most importantly, follower of Jesus Christ. I'm a very hard worker who rarely ever lets herself slow down. I have a lot of energy for life and others. This past week has been very different from that. Last Tuesday, I chose to have an elective outpatient surgery. I was at very low risk for complications related to my physical state. Since I had my last kids, my stomach tore, and I was always self-conscious about fixing that. So on Tuesday, I had this procedure. When I left the office, I was not awake. I couldn't stand, keep my eyes open, couldn't walk. They sent me home in this condition. All I could say was I'm cold. They also put a compression garment on me that compressed me from my upper chest to below my knees. The compression garment was very tight and I was very swollen. As Tuesday turned into Wednesday, I just kept getting more swollen everywhere, including my legs and feet. Thursday morning, I had my husband cut the sides of the compression garment around my knees because my feet were turning white and were painful. Thursday at 9:30, I went to have my follow-up appointment with the surgeon. He had his nurse massage my left leg to try to get circulation going to it. It was rock hard from my foot to my upper thigh. The pain was bad. The surgeon then had me drive to Sparrow ER and have an ultrasound of my leg done. The ultrasound of my leg showed that I had an extensive blood clot on my entire left leg. The ER and doctor admitted me to the hospital and started a heparin drip to help keep the clot from traveling to my heart and lungs. At this time, I was having extensive abdominal and leg pain, had a hard time ambulating. The doctor ordered a cardiovascular surgery consult to see about removing the blood clot. On Friday, surgeons saw me and said they wanted to monitor me and not touch the clot because of the risk of extensive bleeding because of my recent abdominal surgery. Saturday, the leg was still painful and swollen and hard to walk. My mom came to my house to watch our girls and switch places with my husband's mom. She started a prayer chain for us. On Sunday, people were still praying everywhere. My leg was not improving. Surgery rounded and stated that I had two choices. One, not to do surgery and never have the pain and swelling in my leg go away. Chances that the blood clot could travel further and have continued vascular issues in my left leg. Or two, do surgery on Monday. I let the surgeon know that we would be doing surgery on Monday. We didn't have a choice. All the rest of the day I was very restless, painful, very anxious about the surgery. There are so many risk factors with having a thrombectomy. The clot can break loose and travel to the brain and cause a stroke, go to the heart and cause a heart attack, or the lung and cause a PE. The procedure is very risky, not excluding the high bleeding risk. I also stopped taking pain meds because they were giving me headaches, making me nauseous and dizzy, and not helping. I was only using ice. My husband and I talked about the surgery and prayed about it. This whole time, many churches and believers were praying for me, my family, and the doctors. My mom was taking great care of the girls and sending me pictures of them to ease my anxiety. I got to talk with them a lot on FaceTime. Anyone that knows me knows that they are the most important thing in the world to me. On Monday a.m., got up at 5, scrubbed with the surgical scrub. The plan was to have a family prayer and FaceTime at 8 a.m. We had surgery scheduled at 11:40 a.m. At 8 a.m., we did a family prayer and FaceTime. We all took turns praying out loud. I was very emotional. The reality of what was going to happen and could happen hit home, and we were all crying. I just discussed advanced directives with Mike and what would happen and could happen to me during surgery and what my wishes were. I did not want to remain intubated for long if that were to happen. This was a very hard conversation to have. The whole time, again, people were praying for me, the doctors, my husband, and my family. After the family prayer, I finally felt a feeling of peace come over me. God told me I was going to be okay. God gave me the most wonderful nurses and staff to take care of me the whole time. He was always protecting me. At 11 a.m., I was taken down to pre-op. I met the surgeon and told him I was praying for him, and God was going to take very good care of me. I made sure the anesthesiologist knew about my malignant hypothermia and had all the precautions that had been taken. I asked for them not to intubate me, and they agreed. At 12 p.m., we went into the OR. I had a peace from God, like I was floating as they transferred me into the stretcher. At 1:30 p.m., Dr. Pridgeon came out of surgery and told my sister and husband if he had waited, I would have died. The clot had taken up my entire vascular system up to my heart. He was very emotional about this, and he does not get emotional at work. Thousands of people were still praying for me. My kids had school off that day for a teacher education day. My mom and them had prayed every 20 minutes for the doctors until after the surgery was over. There were prayer chains and friends praying everywhere. God's angels were surrounding me the whole time, making sure that the large blood clot never moved. This day, my kids got to witness a miracle happen right in front of them. God answered their prayers and kept their mom safe. With surgery over, I got taken back to my room and monitored very closely. The doctor had been able to remove the whole clot except the small one left in my left lower leg. I was going to be on blood thinners for that. When I finally woke up in my room and was told what happened, I couldn't stop crying. I just kept saying, I'm so grateful to be alive. God is good. I kept telling my story to everyone who entered my room of the miracle that God performed today. God is a loving God. He loves to please his children. He is just and fair. He loves to answer prayers. God answers prayers in many ways. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes in ways we just don't understand. We will never understand his ways, but we have to trust him. I'm grateful that today he chose to answer yes and keep me alive for his purpose. God's ways are always right. As a nurse, I regularly pray for my patients, sometimes with them before a test, out loud, or just in my head. I believe in the power of prayer and how it can also help calm someone down. I have seen it work. I work in an emergency room, and most of my patients are scared, uncertain of what's going to happen to them, and in some very scary situations. I have the opportunity to share God's love with them. I plan on never taking life for granted again. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to me. He answers prayer. He answers prayer. He answers prayer. He's so